Nah. Pre-workouts. Pre-workouts are a staple of any gym rat's daily routine. 1 scoop, 2 scoop, whatever it takes to get you jacked up, dialed in, and ready to make them sweet, sweet gains. Now, as someone who takes pre-workouts myself, I can tell you there's an obvious difference in how workouts feel when you're taking them versus when you're not. The only thing you gotta get past is being halfway closer to cardiac arrest and another step closer to an early grave.
I'm dying. Help me.
Let's be serious though. Who really cares when you can both see and feel the veins throbbing and pecs popping when you got that right pre? But with an ingredients list that'll take you longer to read than it'll take to get your next stimulus check, it does make you wonder what kind of hardcore narcotics you're putting in your body. With that in mind, let's go over what you can usually find in your typical pre-workout. Now, first of all, caffeine. Now, unless you're taking some watered down stim-free version, you're bound to find some vitamin C in there.
In all honesty, I do like to take a good stim-free workout every once in a while just to keep me from insomnia.
Please go away. Let me sleep for the love of...
Now, a typical cup of Starbucks iced coffee, you know, the stuff that all the white girls live off of. That'll run you about 165 milligrams of caffeine. A 16-ounce cold brew from the Bucks, now that has about 200 milligrams of caffeine. In my personal experience with pre-workouts, you'll find they have anywhere between 150 to 300 milligrams of caffeine per scoop. And come on, we're double scooping out here, if not triple. Also got to keep in mind that I typically mix this with the 6 to 8 ounces of water and will drink it from 2 to 5 minutes, tops. I know, I'm psycho. For anyone like me that you're just way conditioned on caffeine, you'll find that you need to take more and more and more just to feel the effects. Alright, another common ingredient you're going to find is creatine, but if you're getting your creatine from your pre-workout, then I'm sorry, but you're doing it wrong. Creatine is one of the most well-tested and trusted supplements out there. Your body already produces it naturally, so you're just taking it to help max out your levels, and there's no need to worry about what time you take it, whether it's pre-workout, post-workout, morning, night, anytime's good. And plus, it's dirt cheap, so buy it in bulk, take 5 grams a day, and you can expect the gains fairy to leave you a couple of PRs under your pillow.
This fairy's got all the gains you need.
Now on to some of the ingredients that are more specific to pre-workouts. First up, beta-alanine. This is the stuff that gives you the tingles. Some people hate that feeling, but I think it helps me feel like something's at least working.
Even if it's just an illusion.
Plus, it also helps distract from the feelings that you'll just never be good enough.
Even if it's just an illusion.
The actual purpose of beta-alanine, however, is muscular endurance, you know, pumping out more reps. This is also like creatine where it's naturally occurring in the body, so you don't need to worry about what time you take it, but come on, I need them tingles during the workout.
I need it!
Now, beta-ion anhydrous, although sounding like beta-alanine, is a completely different compound that has been shown to help with muscle protein synthesis, or, you know, building more muscle while working out, and can also help with muscle force and power. So when you think you're on that last rep, beta-ion comes in and says, nah fam, we got like 2-3 more reps up in here. Citrulline malate, or L-citrulline, is another common ingredient, and this is an amino acid, so it also helps with growing muscle, forming tissue, and can also help with cardiovascular health and performance. Let's see, there's also taurine, which is another amino acid that's known to lower your blood pressure, calm your nervous system, and can also help with mental and cognitive function. Now, if taurine sounds a little familiar to you, that's probably because Monster's been throwing it in their product for years. So shout out to all the Kyles out there. Now, some of these really weird looking ones that always seem to start with an L, L-carnitine, L-theanine, L-valinine, these are all BCAAs, or branched chain amino acids, so they also are the building blocks of building muscle. They also help improve your blood flow and help keep soreness down. But many of these ingredients are really only necessary if you're deficient or lacking it in your regular diet. It's really just used to pad out the ingredients label. There are some, however, that are well tested and known to actually help, such as L-arginine. This one helps to produce nitrous oxide in the cells, helping your vessels to dilate and carry more blood into the muscles so you can keep chasing that pump.
Blood is rushing into your muscles, and that's what we call the pump.
Other than the ones that I've mentioned already, you'll find that there's a lot of variance in what you'll find in one and the other. I think it goes without saying that if there was any ingredient that was as well tested as something like creatine, you're going to find it in all of them. The rest of these ingredients are either just being experimental in nature, so you're going to be the first on the train to actually see the results, or they're just being used as padding to make you think you're getting more than you really are.
See, I pulled a sneaky on you.
Now that you know what's in most modern pre-workouts, let's go over a little brief history of how did we get here. Back in the 1900s, during the dawn of bodybuilding and regular weightlifting, the only options you really had to get your pre-workout kick was coffee to get your caffeine in, or if you felt a little saucy, you could throw in some cocaine.
It was great. It's crack. It gets you really.
You see, cocaine wouldn't be illegal until 1922, so those that wanted some extra focus during their workout could just get coked up and go to town. Despite this, most actually stayed away from all stimulants during working out. The top fitness cultural leaders of that time, comparable to the influencers of today, often preached that any stimulants, even coffee, were like poisons to the body and should be avoided at all costs. It wouldn't be until the 60s and 70s, what's often considered the golden era for bodybuilding, that the public opinion would change, as top athletes such as Arnie were known to commonly use coffee before their workouts to help give them that extra focus. As with any type of success, you're bound to have everybody wondering what their secret is. To capitalize on a fitness community that was hungry to find something to help give them that edge, the first pre-workout supplement would be Ultimate Orange in 1982. And then all of a sudden, everybody was making them gains. Reviews came in strong, and people were happy with the results they were getting from Ultimate Orange. There was just one little problem. People were getting heart attacks. You see, Ultimate Orange used a compound called ephedra as an active ingredient. And this is a methamphetamine-like compound that's known for nausea, vomiting, and a little thing called sudden death. Either way, Ultimate Orange pretty much fought off all their lawsuits and remained a mainstay throughout the 90s and early 2000s. During that span of time in 1993 is when creatine products started coming out. I've already talked about the importance of creatine, but essentially what it does is it pulls water into your muscles, helping you with performance and especially recovery, so take your creatine. During the 2000s, you'd have these mad scientists creating crazier and crazier pre-workouts, each more potent than the last. One would come out, stim junkies would lose their mind, and they'd inevitably be banned when it was found that something in them was unsafe. Rinse and repeat. These popular pre-workouts, such as Jacked or Jack 3D, however you want to say it, would have to be reformulated and re-released so that all the meatheads out there could reminisce about the good old days when they could get jacked out of their mind on this stuff.
Do you remember a time when women couldn't vote and certain folk weren't allowed on golf courses? Petridge Farm remembers.
Nowadays, you can still find some pretty strong stuff out there. They usually come in these sketchy looking tubs with all these jaggedy looking letters and graphics on the side. One I had a while back was called Edge of Insanity by Psychopharma. Now I'm pretty sure the first time I took this, I was hearing colors. And it takes a lot for me to feel any of this stuff. As I mentioned, I have a high tolerance to stimulants, but I could definitely feel that stuff.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
I'm feeling a warm spot. Sorry.
Nowadays, I've really been digging the product from Redcon1, hashtag not sponsored. This one is Big Noise, it's their stim-free version. They also have Total War, which is the stim version. I like to stack the two together before a workout just to get that extra pump, and I gotta say, when I'm taking it, them pumps be juicy. They've got a pretty cool military branding to them, and they've gotten a lot of athletic sponsorships over the years, so you've probably heard of them. As you may have seen throughout this and during my opening bit, I also take Mr. Hyde pre-workout. This stuff's pretty heavy on the stims as well, and I could say this stuff's the real deal. Other brands that I often like to use, such as Optimum Nutrition, are always solid, and I'll link the ones that I like below so you can go out there and get some gains yourself. Alright, the camera died on me, but that's alright. That pretty much wraps up the video. If you liked it, please subscribe and maybe leave a like, and a hate comment or two down below all helps out the channel. I'll link below all my sources that I used and any products that I mentioned, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Peace!
You didn't have to record that twice.
Ah, whatever.